morning, children. Today we are going to discuss, as we have completed Unit 8 of Chemical Bonding. Today we are going to discuss a new topic, a new chapter, which is Unit 9 called as Electric Current. Imagine once, if there is no electric current in the world, how the world used to be. Can we run industries? Not at all. The life without electric current, it happens in such a way that there is no life at all without having a current. All the devices, what else we are using it up nowadays, will all run depending upon electric current only. Therefore, in modern world, as the science and technology is developing day by day, electric current is playing a vital role. So, today we are here to study about electric current according to our syllabus, which is existing in our 10th class. We'll go through the particular one. Among that, to study electric current, first and major property, what else we require is nothing but what? Electric charge. What is a charge? What is a charge? It can be called as nothing but what? A fundamental property or intrinsic property, means the property which is existing inside. The property which is existing inside, that is called as intrinsic property or fundamental property, which attracts any uncharged particles. Any uncharged particle can be attracted towards it. That is called as nothing but what? A charge. Example, as the TV is running there itself in our home, when we go near to the TV and touch to the screen, near to the screen of the TV, and just if you are standing there, we'll observe the air which is existing on our hand slightly raises up. It indicates nothing but what? TV is running with a current, it is charged already. As our hand uncharged particle, as it is moving near to that one, the air which is existing on that particular, on the hand slightly raises up. Means what? It is attracted by that particular charged particle, so that this air can get charged there itself. That is called as a charge. We can give it up. These charges, if they are existing at rest, they can be in two different ways. If they are existing at rest, we call that particular the study of charges at rest can be called as nothing but what? Static electricity. We'll study within this particular concept. Similarly, the charges, when they are motion, when they are moving from one point to flow of charges, if it is existing, the study of a particular flow of charges can be given as nothing but what? Electricity or current electricity also we can give it up. These charges, this charge will have three different properties for us. How many types of charges are there? Two types of charges. One is a positive charge, other one is a negative charge. These two charges have different properties. Three properties will be the properties. First property is nothing but what? Additive property. It exists as the charges are adding. As the charge is existing, we can add so many charges to a particular charged body there itself. Additive property, they will exist. That is the first property of the charge. Second property of the charge is nothing but what? Conservation of charge. Means what? Can we have already studied that. Conservation of mass is there within chemical equation, there is the in chemistry part there itself. What is meant by conservation of mass? Mass is neither created nor destroyed, but it can be appear in another form. Here also what the charge cannot be neither created nor destroyed, but it can be reappear in another form. That particular property also charge will be get existing. Next one is what? The charge is also called as nothing but what? Quantization of the charge also we can call it up. It will be quantized within that particular region itself in the form of shells. If you go for an atom is made up of three fundamental particles, proton, neutron as well as electron. Proton, neutron will be existing at the center of the nucleus, whereas electron orbiting within the shell. Within the shell, the electron will be get quantized depending upon the energy. So what happens? The electrons will be existing in the form of shells. First layer shell, second layer shell, third shell, fourth shell. In that particular way, quantization of charges can be get existing. Therefore, these three properties could be called as nothing but what? Properties of the charges. If you go for the charge of electron, when it comes to an atom, if I am going for an atom where positive charges are nothing but what? Proton as well as a neutron, which are existing in the nucleus. Whereas proton is having positive charge, neutron is having neutral charge. But whereas the electron, which is having negative charge, it will be orbiting around the nucleus with high speed. So what happens is, if you apply certain quantity of energy, the electron can come outside freely. As the electron is coming outside freely, we'll call that particular electron as what? Free electron. The motion of charge is mainly depending upon what? Electron only, but not about a positive charge called as proton. Why means, if you compare the mass of a particular electron, mass of electron is a negligible, we know it. Nearly, if you compare that particular mass of electron with proton, it is 1837 times lesser than mass of the proton. So that positive charge is nothing but proton, which will be existing at that particular place. But whereas around that, as electron is having lesser charge, it will be easily, by applying certain quantity of energy, that electron can come outside of the particular orbit and freely that particular electron can be get rotated. Freely that particular electron can be get rotated, whose having electron charge is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 Coulomb charge. This much less than this charge, this much less charge will be existing within the whole matter. That is regarding this particular one. The charge can also be detected by one device. What is the device? Is called as electroscope. Already we have studied in lower classes there itself, electroscope. By using electroscope, we can detect the charge of the particular particle. These charges will follow two different laws. What are those two laws? We know clearly that like charges repel each other, whereas unlike charges will attract each other. Based upon these two laws, they can be get exist there itself. And how we can produce charge for a particle? We are saying that body is charged. How we can allow that particular charge to the particular body? By using three different methods, we can use it up. First one is called as rubbing. Means what? Two bodies we are taken there itself, rub it together. As we are rubbing it up together and placing in contacting each other, then flow of charges can be taken place from one body to that of another body in contact when you are keeping it up. Conduction, one charged particle have taken, another one is uncharged particle, bringing near to this particular charged particle, then what happened? In contact with it, then what happened? The charges will flow from charged particle to the of another particle, and it also attains charge. That is called as conduction method. Induction method, if you make it up, you have taken two charged particles and bringing those two charged particles near to each other, but they are not in contact. At that particular time, what happens there itself, the charges which are existing in the second body will be arranged in such a way that what happens there itself, how negative, if positive charges are existing within this particular body and within this body both positive and negative charges are existing, bringing near to that particular one, near to that particular particle charge body, but it is not in contact. At that time, the charges will be redistributed in such a way that all negative charges will be existing towards one side and all positive charges will be existing towards the other side. In that particular way, the positive charges towards one side and negative charges towards one side can be arranged based upon one method. That method is called as induction method. So children, till now we have discussed about what is meant by charge. We have discussed clearly if the charges is existing at rest, it is the static effect of the charge is called as static electricity. If charges are in motion, it is called as current electricity. And these charges will exist in three different properties. First one is additive property, conservation of charge property, as well as quantization of charge. Each charge particle among the particle charge of the particle is which is moving within this particular atom there. Electron is moving, electron particle, the flow of charges can be done mainly based upon what? Electron. So electron charge is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Less charge, this charge will be existing in a matter also we have discussed clearly. This charge can be detected by one scope, that scope is called as electroscope. Based upon one principle, that principle is nothing but what? Repelling of charges. Already we have studied in previous classes there. These charges will have two laws. One is like charges repulse each other, unlike charges attract each other. The body can be get charged based upon three different processes. One is rubbing, conduction, as well as induction method. By using these three methods, we can charge a particle. Children, we discussed about charge, electric charge, and its properties, laws of the particular charge. Now we have to go to one more topic. That topic is called as charge carriers. Charge require a way to move. If you want to move the charge from one point to another point, there must be requirement of some charge carriers. So that particular charge carriers, charge can be get moved from one point to the other point. Flow of charges will be taken place. Due to that reason, electric current can be get produced. If you go for the metals, the charge carriers there itself. If you go for solids, metals can be called as what? Good charge carriers, we can call it up there itself. In that, conductors, metals are called as conductors, in which electrons are nothing but what? Charge carriers. They carry charge from one point to another point. The flow of charge will be done based upon electrons. Coming to liquids, if you go for electrons, means what? Metals are good conductors of electricity. And these metals consisting of what? Electrons are nothing but what? They are charge carriers. If I consider this is a metallic strip, this metallic strip is made up of what? All the atoms. Atoms are closely packed to each other. As atoms are closely packed to each other, it forms a metallic strip there itself. If I go for an atom consisting of what? Nucleus. In nucleus, proton as well as neutron will be existing. Where proton charge is positive charge, neutron charge is negative. A neutral charge is existing there. And electron which is existing in the orbit, orbiting around the nucleus. If you know the mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 28 grams, whose mass is nearly less than the mass of proton, 2000 times lesser than the mass of the proton. Therefore, by this we understood clearly that proton is a positive charge, but its mass is much more greater compared to that of electron. And the charge of electron is what? Negative. The mass is also negligible there itself. If you compare with the mass of proton, mass of electron is negligible. By applying certain temperature, at room temperature only, what happens there itself? That electron can gain energy and it can easily skip away from this particular orbital and it can move forward there itself, move in all directions there itself within that particular metallic strip. As the electron is ejecting outside from the orbital, it forms a nature. That nature is called as free electron nature. In conductor, we know that nearly 10 to the power of 29 electrons will be that existing. Observe it. After 1, we have to keep 29 zeros there itself. That many number of electrons will be that existing within a metallic strip. That is called as a conductor there. Due to this reason, in conductors, what happens there itself, electron will be propagating from one point to other point, whereas positive charge will be fixed at that particular region. That region we would call it as nothing but what? Lattice region we can call it up. That is regarding electron. Coming to what? Liquids. In liquids, how charge will be propagating through electrolytic substances. Electrolytic substances means what? I have taken a positive plate, other one is a negative plate connected to a battery by taking some electrolytic substances called as sodium chloride paste connected to a battery. As by connecting to a battery, this sodium chloride substance will split up in the form of ions, positive ion as well as negative ion. Positive ion will be attracted towards negative electrode, negative ion will attracted towards positive electron. Therefore, motion of ions are be taking place. Depending upon that, positive ions as well as negative ions will propagate from one point. From negative ion propagate towards positive charge, positive ion move towards negative charge. That in that way, the motion of charges can be taken place based upon ions. That is positive ion as well as negative ion. Coming to our gases, we know that gases are bad conductors of electricity. They cannot conduct electricity. But in one particular condition, that condition is called as what? A special condition. Within this particular discharge tube, if I minimize the pressure, up to 0.00001 millimeter of Hg and apply toward high voltage battery, if you are connecting it up, high voltage, if you are supplying it up, then what happened there? Within this particular gas, what happened there? Charges will be get moving. Negative charge is called as electron and positive charge. The motion of electrons as well as positive charges will move based upon that one. Charge can be carried through gases. Coming to semiconductors. In semiconductors also current flow can be taken place based upon two things, that is motion of electrons as well as motion of holes. This concept we can study in higher standard there itself. Therefore, we understood clearly that charge can be carried. Charges require a way to move, to flow that particular charge. As the flow is in place, then only electric current can be produced there itself. So these are the different types of charge carriers in different substances. In metals, electrons are charge carriers. In liquids, positive ions as well as negative ions are charge carriers. Gases, if you maintain pressure of 0 point, the low pressure and high voltage, if you are applying it up, then positive ions as well as electrons can also be get moved. If you go for semiconductors, electrons and holes are the charge carriers. Okay, children? Till now we discussed about charge carriers. How the charge can be carried through what substances? You are seeing it up. Next topic is what? Flow of charges. How a charge can be get flow. To understand this matter, flow of charges, how the water flow. If you observe that particular concept, we can clearly understand the concept of flow of charges. To flow water, compulsory one point must be existed. That point is called as high pressure point has to be exist. From the high pressure point to the low pressure point, if you are connecting a pipe, then what happened to that particular pipe? The total water, what else? We have placed at high pressure point. High pressure point is nothing but what? A tank. We are constructing a tank as a height. From that height of the particular tank, we will keep one pipe towards it to the bottom of the earth, on the surface of the earth. So that as we are switching on the key, what happens? The water from high pressure point, it flows down to the low pressure point. In the same way, flow of charges also will be taking place from high potential region to the top low potential region. Flow of charges will be taking place from high potential region to the top low potential region if it is a closed path. If it is a closed path. For example, suppose if the path is disconnected, if it is not closed, can the charges can flow from A to B there? No. All the charges will be flowing it up. If water pipe is off break in the middle of the particular point before reaching our home, can water can come on to our home? No. It will go outside of the particular where the pipe has been leaked. At that particular point, the total water will be going up. In the same way, if there is a no closed path, current water cannot be flow properly to the particular point from high pressure to the low pressure. Similarly, charges also cannot flow from high potential region to the low potential region. To be get flow properly, there must be a closed path. Through that particular closed path, current charge carriers, which are entering charges, which are entering from this particular point, they can be go away from this particular, from high potential to the low potential charges can be get flow. We are seeing here flow of charges. This is all nothing but what flow of charges there itself. I have taken here flow of electric charges are taken from high potential to low potential. Certain time interval you are taking up. Certain time interval. How much flow of charges have been taken place? The total charges which have been flow from high potential to low potential can be considered as what? Amount of total flow, the amount of flow of electric charges per unit time interval can be defined with one definition, and that definition is called as electric current. Electric current is nothing but what? Amount of flow of electric charges in unit time interval. It is called as electric current. For example, it is like in the time of 10 seconds, 1000 coulomb of charge has been flow through this particular pipe. In a unit time interval, let us discussing it up in 1 second. How much time, how much coulomb of charge can we get flow? To do that particular one, yes, if it is taking up 100 coulomb of charge will be travel from high potential to low potential. Which what certain quantity we are taking it up. Per 1 second, 100 coulomb charges are flowing from high potential region to the low potential region per unit time interval. If you take for 1 coulomb of charge, 1 coulomb of charge will be equal to the net charge, which can be represented as nothing but what? Capital Q. And we know that 1 coulomb of charge in conductors, especially conductors, if we take it up, it will be having 16 to 10 to the power of 18 electrons within that one. And we are considering what? Coulomb per unit time interval. For unit time interval, we are taking it up. Therefore, coulomb charge is nothing but what? Q by T. If you are taking for unit time interval, we can also define, we can also improvise the definition of electric current is nothing but what? Rate of flow of charges. Rate of flow of charges also we can say it up. Coming to definition formula, there is the rate of flow of charges is also called anything but what? Electric current, or amount of flow of electric charges per certain time interval can also be given as nothing but what? Electric current, which will be given by one formula. Current is measured is nothing but capital I. Q charge is measured in what? Total charge. It is Q, capital Q. Time interval is measured by T. I is equal to Q by T. If I go for units, charge is measured in what? Coulombs it is measured. Time interval is measured in what? Seconds. Coulomb per second in SI units, if I go it up there itself, coulomb per second it will be there. Coulomb per second is nothing but what? A new unit they have given it up. It is also two components. Coulomb is a charge and time interval is a second there itself. To remember these two things there itself, a new unit they have introduced based upon one name, scientist name, physicist name called as Henry Ampere. They placed ampere is as a unit of, is a SI unit for electric current, and the symbol of ampere is what? Capital A. We can use it up there itself. This current can be get measured by using one device. The device is called as ampere meter. From that ampere meter, meter, it has been formed there. This meter always will be connected in what connection there? Series connection. We can give it up there itself. Now coming to the top part, how to produce 1 ampere of current. To give a definition of 1 ampere of current, how much charge has been get flowed there itself. To give 1 ampere of current, 1 coulomb of charge has been get flow through per 1 second. Then 1 ampere of current can be get produced there itself. To produce 1 ampere of current, 1 coulomb of charge is flowed per 1 second. 1 coulomb of charge is having 6 into 10 to the power of 18 electrons there itself. That gives the definition of 1 ampere of current can be get produced there itself. This current can be get measured in what? Smaller units it can be get measured as well as bigger units also can be get measured. If we go for smaller unit there itself, it can be measured in the form of milliampere, whose value is equal to 10 to the power of -3 ampere. Very small unit is called as what? Microampere, which is mu A 10 to the power of -6 ampere there itself. If we come for bigger values, current if it is measuring in big values, kiloampere it can be get measured. 1 kiloampere is equal to 10 to the power of 3 amperes. Ka will give us kiloampere indication. Very big if you want to measure current, mega ampere also it can be get measured, whose value is capital MA, that is 1 mega ampere is equal to 10 to the power of 6 amperes. By this we have completed we have defined one concept. The define is nothing but what? But it is called as electric current. The definition is nothing but what? Electric current. What is electric current? Amount of flow of charges per second time interval is called as electric current. Thank you, children.